Hey guys, alrighty. So it is, Wednesday, hump day. We are expecting to get JOLTS data at 10 a.m. Like I said yesterday, I don't think it's going to really be anything too wild. For the most part, honestly, we have been very mild in our reactions to data. There has not really been a whole lot of any reaction at all. We've only really gotten PMI lately, though, but like I said, it's been very mute. So, looking at today, overnight, I did mention that there might be a double top. There was a very, very low percent chance I saw of the failed breakout into confirm lower highs by coming back down to the 8 EMA support. That'd be that 6950. And then on NQ be the 20 EMA down by 25,600. So we did come back down, and NQ is weaker than ES right now. But much like yesterday, this likely is a back test off of support, kind of about a little bit of a mean reversion before continuing higher. Once again, though, the VIX is elevated. So we are up almost 2% on the VIX. So again, there's still that disconnect there of, pushing green, but VIX is holding steady too. I mean, if you look at the daily on the VIX, since 12/24, Christmas Eve, we have steadily pushed higher and really have only been making higher highs and higher lows on the VIX. So it's in a nice uptrend, which is interesting because then if you look at ES since the 24th, we really are pretty much flat. So if you look back on the 24th on ES, we closed at 69.80. If you look at today, we're at 69.88. Now if we jump over to NQ, same thing. We look at the 24th. We closed at 25,865, and today we're at 25,785. So, there's just not a lot of movement. This range is painful, to say the least, but the market really refuses to break out of this range. I'm looking to see if we can finally break out of that range or not today. I think today is one of the better opportunities we have had to break out of this range. We have buyers. The VIX is at a spot where it could get dropped through pretty big support and start the upside move. And we are over resistance right now. So looking at the 15-minute chart here, we have a major resistance at 69.89 on ES. That level has been touched like 30 times since yesterday midday. Last night we had major rejections off of it, and we're still this morning rejecting off of it. That is a major level. We do have up to 69.93 also as a resistance to watch, but again, this 69.90, 69.89, that's to watch this morning. Support-wise, we have 69.83. On NQ, we have 25,763 to 25,790 with upside at 25,835. So, again, last couple days, every couple weeks, really, every single open has been a massive pop. So I'm curious once again here to see if we are going to get that massive pop, or if this 69.89 and 25,790 to 25,798 is going to reject us, and it looks like our answer is we're going to push. There it is, once again, the classic open pop. So overnight, or this morning rather, I did take a quick trade on my my funded futures accounts, just for my quick $100 scalp there. Yesterday, I did make a mistake after I got off stream, and I overtraded it just a little bit, and I did blow one of my lucids, being stupid. I was able to recover the other four barely. and I actually ended up the day with about $1,500 in profit there. So I'm looking for about $300 in profit on my Lucids, and I have my Tradify accounts that I need about $600 to pass day 3 of that eval. So pretty good day here, looking for about 15 points to start the morning here. So here we go, 69.90. Look at that. Big touch, big rejection. So this brings us in to that support area of 69.83 to 69.86 and 25.763 to 25.772. So if you remember yesterday, and really a couple days ago too, ES has mostly been stronger than NQ. So right now it's a little interesting because we're actually seeing that ES is a little bit weaker than NQ here. So again, that gives us a little bit more flavor for that downside here. And still, again, 25.790 to 25.798 is holding, and 69.89 gave us a major rejection. So we'll kind of see how this 5-minute candle closes here in 2 minutes, but assumingly if we can hold under 25.790, I would think that a nice rejection down to the 25.763 area on NQ is likely to happen. There is a major spike that just happened on VX, which is odd because NQ also just got a major spike there. That is an abnormal thing to see together. That is very, very odd. You should not generally see that. Let's see where this. We got about a minute here to candle close. Let's see where we close out here. Again, very odd to see NQ spike, or sorry, VX spike like that, and NQ to also spike. I don't like that. That's some weird divergence that we shouldn't see. And obviously you can see ES and NQ are divergent, so that's where we got to be careful here. And you know, we've seen this a couple times before too, where they do these weird pushes up on NQ while ES doesn't necessarily push. And generally at like 10 to 10:30, that leads to a very impressive downside move on NQ. So that could potentially be playing out today, or we could finally be seeing NQ lead this upside and lead the charge higher, and ES will join in, and that will really pop us to that 26,000 level and probably 70.25 over on ES. That would again break one of the downtrend's lower highs on NQ, and of course would start a new all-time high and potential leg up on ES. Again, very, very interesting to see this spike here. We do have some wild buyers coming in here in NQ though, which is odd. I mean, generally speaking, we're pushing up. We have aggressive buyers here. It could lead to a breakout. but I don't like that VX and VIX are trending up with it, and ES didn't really go. ES is, oh, there goes ES though, so maybe this is going to push. We are touching that 25,831 to 25,836 supply area though, and this 69.89 area on ES, they've been trying to close over it since about noon yesterday and have failed to close over it. So we might see a big rejection right here. While we have a second, let me just show you that this is such an impressive resistance area. So we're going to zoom out here. Okay, so this, look at this 60.89. All the way back. Oh, there's a big rejection. Look at this. All the way back to 2 o'clock. Sorry, 2 o'clock yesterday. Look at how long, and these are all wicks. Look at how much they tried, even into after hours last night, to close over that. And even this morning, to close over that 69.89, and they just cannot do it. Okay, so there's another rejection, but they're a big wick with it. VX and VIX still pushing. We still have some buyers though. 69.89 still rejecting. Yeah, I mean, Holo, that 69.89, that has got to be one of the wilder supply and resistance levels that I've seen in months, maybe even longer. I cannot remember a time that we have spent, like, what, we're going on 16 hours now, I think, trying to break a level, even into after hours, and it not break. It is extremely impressive how strong that level is. So, you know, again, that's a good rejection spot. So that is, you know, a potential short setup here. And again, with NQ rejecting 831 to 836, the odds of this coming down are good, but we have to kind of wait for these buyers to break. I do think if we break through 69.89, and we likely would probably need to wait for a 15-minute candle closure over it. I think that is going to be the rocket fuel, though. I think that will trigger a massive, massive pump. It might not come, though. We could find this as our top, and we could take this back lower. But if it clears, again, I think it's going to be a massive, massive, massive push. Okay, so yes, we do have news at 10 a.m. jolts. So again, I hate to take this long here, but it is set up for us. This looks like a potential ORB breakout now on NQ, not necessarily over an ES. So the 69.92 is on ES. Let's see where this closes in 5 seconds here. Over 836 does bring a potential breakout. I would like to see a back test off 823 first, though. Okay, there's 823. Hard rejection on ES off its ORB at 69.92. Now it's back testing that critical, crazy 69.89.
Order filled.
All right, I took a long here.
Order filled.
I'm just closing out my TraderFi
filled.
evals. I'm
Order
letting
filled.
my Lucids run.
Order filled. Order filled.
Okay, so I passed my
Stop
trade.
filled.
Okay, there we go. I got, oh, well, some of them got stopped out. Not everybody got stopped out. A couple are still in.
Stop filled.
Okay, I got stopped out there now. Let me kind of evaluate. Let's see where we're at here. Doesn't make sense. Sorry, just trying to, I have my document that I keep up on, and I like to make sure I stay as quick as, or as up to date on it as I can, because otherwise it gets really difficult to keep up and retrack what I did and didn't take. So, all right, so that took me to about 400 bucks on all my accounts. I think that is probably going to be where I call it. Let me run my numbers real quick here and see exactly where I'm at. But likely that's going to be my end of my day here. But just hold on 1 second here for me. But good play there. Great play. Great execution. 20 points. Love to see that. Yeah, Mighty, give me 1 second and I will. I'm just running my numbers right here. I just want to make sure I actually passed all my evals, make sure I'm at my daily goal and stuff. So just give me 1 quick second here. Okay, yeah, I did pass everything. So I'm going to probably go ahead and I'm going to lock it up. I made mistakes yesterday not locking it up early, but let me answer your question real quick here. Okay, so my trailing stop. This is something new that I started in 2026. Well, really, I started at the very end of 2025, but I kind of reviewed a lot of stuff over Christmas break. I wanted, mostly because December was a little rough on me, and I wanted to figure out what I did wrong. What I found was happening a lot, and this is something I recognized back into 2025 and even 2024, is that there was a good amount of times where I would hit 20 points, maybe even 25, sometimes even 30 points, and I would set a break even at, let's say, 5 points, or even like, 1, 2 point, whatever. There was a lot of times that it was going from 20 to 25 points, which again is $400 to $500, back to 0 to 5 points, which is like $100. So I was losing, $300-400 on a play that I was correct on. So what I found is that, my strategy, generally speaking, is a high win rate strategy. So this is based off 2026 only right now. So when I look at my strategy right now for NQ performance-wise, my win rate is about 61.36%. I'm netting a profit factor of 1.62, and my average loss and my average win are both about 19 points. Obviously, I'm expected green every trade too, so what I found is for me is I'm trying to prevent watching green trades go red. I got tired of seeing big wins of 20 points go back down to 100 points. Even yesterday, for example, when I was trying to recover these lucids that I screwed up on, there was a couple times where I'd get a big pop of 10, 20 points, and I wouldn't close it because I was in recovery mode, and it would drop back down to break even, and I would lose $1,000 because I was way over leveraged yesterday. So basically, the way this trail system works is, depending on the day, it's in 5-point increments. So today, for instance, because I know I need a small amount, I just need that $200, $150 to pass the day on Lucid. Once it hits 10, 15 points, there's a 5-point trail that triggers every 5 points. So for example, let's say it hits 15 points of profit. There's now a 5-point trail automatically triggered. So once it hits 15, my trail's at 10. It hits 20 points, my trail's at 15. It hits 25 points, my trail's at 20. And I just let it go. So this way, one, if we get a big wick or something like that where it pumps 20 points and then reverses 40 points in like an instant, which we've seen before, I will not get screwed. It'll stop me out in profit somewhere. But the common one that I like to run right now is the 25-point trigger. So meaning once we hit 25 points of profit, it triggers a 5-point trail starting at 20 points. And again, every 5 points after that, it just keeps triggering again until it stops me out or I take manual profit. So it just depends on the day. It depends on how much profit I need and when I want the trigger, whether I want it to trigger at 15 points, 20 points, or 25 points. But I found it to be really, really great in this market. And obviously for this payout, and now the second payout I'm working on, it has been very successful for me. So again, it's something that I want to continue to use. And it really came from the fact that looking at last year's numbers, actual trading numbers, there was, I want to say 30 to 40% of my play, or yeah, it was like 30% of my plays would hit 20 plus points and close break even. So I was leaving a ton of money on the table, which obviously would have been much, much more payouts and potentially less blown accounts. So just a change I made for sure. But I'm going to call it a day here, folks. Great day. Day 2 of 5 completed. And I will see you guys tomorrow.